Has the market changed its mind about what the Fed may do next?
We have got to get inflation behind us. I wish there were a painless way to do that. There isn't.
Think of that number, and maybe more importantly, what do you think the Fed's going to do, and therefore what your equity is going to do?
I've been saying over and over again to my colleagues here that he wants your portfolio down so that you won't be able to spend as much.
Welcome to Financial Stockholm. We have another investor meeting with a Norwegian company called Resqunit. And I'm Christopher Crystal, and today joining us from Resqunit is Helgi Olsen. And so with that, I think we'll give Helgi all the time he needs to give us a presentation on the company, a little update since they're listing to the First North, and then we'll go through some of the points here. All right, with that, thank you very much. Helgi, I turn it over to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. And of course, we have a product that is developed for combating lost fishing gear. A huge problem. I didn't know about it myself until I started looking into this 5 years ago now. The harm that comes from lost fishing gear and just the scale and the size of this problem, both for the environment and for the industry, is tremendous. Which led us into this situation where we wanted to do something about it. And there's a lot of work being done in the society with cleanup operations and try to tackle this problem after it occurs. So we wanted to go at this from a preventive direction and develop a solution to prevent the gear from being lost in the first place. So I'm not going to give a presentation. I have a few slides to match whatever questions you would have, Chris. But this slide on the screen here, it just shows some of the numbers that we are faced with. Of course, these lost fishing gear, they continues to fish after it's lost, and that represents a $60 billion a year cost in just wasted biomass. Valuable biomass that should have ended up on the dinner plates all over the world are instead wasted to being caught and killed in lost fishing gear. And the way this works, of course, is that species are being caught. Eventually, they starve to death, and they become bait for the next generation, and so this cycle continues. And then the number below is the $2.6 billion a year gear replacement cost, because all this equipment that is being lost needs to be replaced to continue the operation. Of course, in addition to that, you have other costs, but this is the direct gear replacement cost. The almost too big number to comprehend in the bottom is kind of more societal cost. There's a huge study done, I think 3 years ago now, that details these are direct and indirect and long-term costs related to plastic pollution, related to health issues with microplastic particles entering the food chain. So there's a lot in these numbers that would be too complicated to go through in this conversation here.
Okay, yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I fully agree, and I think especially with the microplastics, entering into the food cycle, this really should be one of the first cases that everybody's looking at, the cleaning of the oceans. So I'm a big fan of the Resqunit. But you listed to the First North, and trading here in Sweden. How has the market treated you so far?
Horribly. No, it's we listed the company pretty early, and I would say more early in the kind of company history than what I would consider normal. We were still, I would say, almost a startup when we listed. But the reason why we did that is because we had a lot of shareholders, because we did a couple of rounds on platforms, almost like crowdfunding type of platforms. So we got into a situation where we had 550 shareholders, and we wanted to create that kind of investor experience where you have liquidity, you can go in and out. But also we have Sig Hansen, the world's most famous fisherman, on our team, both as an ambassador and also an investor. And because of his notoriety and his kind of brand value, he was very focused on us being an open and transparent company. And there's no better way to be transparent than to be listed. So that was also a major reasoning behind us going so quickly to getting listed publicly. And of course, as we all have felt the last, I would say, 2-3 years now, with first the COVID situation and the lockdowns, there was, of course, hurt a lot of industries and supply chains and the component crisis that we all know about. And then we have this situation now with the war on European territory. This has created tsunamis into the financial markets, and of course it has hurt us as well. But that is only on the, I would say, the supply chain, manufacturing, getting the right components and everything. These are the biggest problems that have been caused for us. When it comes to our market, I think our market has improved actually. The raw material prices have surged in this turbulent times. So our customer, the fishermen, are actually making more money now than they were before. So our customer base is better off, and of course that will reflect itself in our sales. But you know, our share price has gone down since we listed. I feel now things are turning around as we are now starting to deliver our first batches out of the factory in just I think 1 or 2 weeks now. Really excited about that. And I think that has been what our shareholders and the market have been looking for, with us in particular, getting to the market, getting the products delivered, and just proving that the market is accepting this product, and that we have, of course, the numbers we have on the size of the market is enormous, and most people don't know about this. But the market for this product alone is, I think it's 250 million. Potential worldwide market for this product, and now we're starting to ship out from the factory, and we are really excited about the launch that we are having in Canada first now.
Okay, so that's great. Yeah, I think a lot of people overlook what you guys can do in terms of the fishing industry, because all the articles you read or whatever you see on YouTube or other video clips, or these nets where people are freeing the animals from them, and if you're able to avoid this, I think that'd be a better video. I mean, for people to look at. Yeah. But okay, so right now you feel maybe this might be a good time for investors to be taking a look at Resqunit.
Yeah, I would. We actually just we had a small round now, raising some more money, because we as we go into the manufacturing, we have some costs that we need to do up front. So we just now raised 10 million in combination of private equity and loans, 2.5 in equity and 7.5 in loans. So we are kind of over the bump as far as the economic situation in order to start delivering goods. So product development is done. We are now putting all future product development projects on hold. By doing that, we have reduced the burn rate in the company of 400,000 NOK a month, or Swedish kronor a month, and now all focused on manufacturing, delivery, sales, and what better time to jump on than now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So that's and so then of course in 5 years, what's your horizon there?
Of course, we want to reboot the product development, because the product we have now is only for traps. I say only for traps. Don't think that this is a small market. Like I said, there are around 250 million traps out there that needs a security system like ours. But we also look at the nets. We also look at the long line fisheries, and there are a lot of other industries as well outside of the fishing industry that needs recovery units. The fish farming industry loses equipment in the ocean all the time. The oil and gas industry, the seismic industry, and these are all other industries that have reached out to us showing interest in a recovery system. But right now we want to start creating value for the shareholders, selling products, getting orders, moving products, and getting numbers into the company. And as soon as we kind of see things rolling, we want to reboot the product development, have these designs for the other type of equipment ready. And then also we have been talking a lot earlier about data collection. having sensors picking up data about oxygen, salinity, and temperature, which is also something we want to do down the line. So if you ask me where we are five years from now, we are selling loads of these recovery units that we have in the market right now, and we will also have developed one or two more products to supplement that.
Okay, so when we look at the figures, and the figures, of course, that you gave, where you said 10 million, those 10 million are in Swedish or NOKs or dollars?
That is 10 million NOKs actually, so that's a bit more in Swedish. I don't have the exact currency.
But it's okay.
Right now,
we have the base currency, so that's
yeah.
But then when you look at this 60 billion, is that reflecting just the material cost or the replacement cost? What is the 60 billion ghost fishing cost?
The 60 billion is the value of the species that are caught and wasted. So that is the value of the crab and lobster and everything else that is being caught and killed and wasted in ghost fishing. I think the number you are trying to ask me is the number below, the gear replacement cost, which is a cost for the industry, for our customers. And like I briefly touched upon, this is just the replacement cost. When you lose one trap, you need to buy another one. But you have other costs on that as well that is not on this slide. Because when a fisherman loses his gear, he is mandated to report this into the government, and that is some bureaucratic paperwork that you have to go through. So they always put some effort into trying to find it back themselves before they have to report it. So they spend vessel costs, fuel and insurance, a lot of things on the vessel. You have manpower cost in trying to retrieve. So they drag usually hooks along the bottom and try to find what they've lost. And with the current gas prices and everything, this is also getting to be a pretty significant cost. So I wouldn't estimate anything in particular. The 2.6 billion is just the gear replacement, but on top of that, you have fuel cost, you have manpower, you have vessel costs.
Yeah, and the insurance cost, and so a product like yours is going to be an immediate bottom line because they can lower their insurance cost. They can become better rated. You don't have the worry of, are they really looking for it? Or are they just saying, okay, look at the price of fuel, it's better we just go in and we're not going to find the trap anyway. And then the replacement for the trap and the length of the life of the trap and how many lobsters it can kill. And then of course that translates all through to the consumer for the cost of having lobster at their dinner or their lunch. And it's all hand in hand. So, okay.
And also we see that a lot of consumers are now in greater degree starting to care about the lobster that they're eating has been fished in a responsible way. So there is kind of a pull from the market side in the seafood industry because there's a lot of lot of awareness around the problems in the fishing industry, and the consumers want proof. They want to see that the catch have been landed in a proper way, and that's why you see a lot of the certification programs like the Marine Stewardship Councilship, the MSC, who certifies fisheries and seafood companies. They recently, actually just a couple of months ago, updated their regulations to now the fisherman needs to prove what measures they have taken to reduce ghost fishing. And of course, our product is a perfect tool to be able to check off that box.
Yeah, it's a great vehicle. And so with that, and you have this this focus, you know, of course, here we have this in Europe, and then you've seen a strong push for this in places like the US or Canada, Australia. Maybe you talk a little bit about that, and also Latin America, how that's looking for you.
Latin America, we haven't done too much. We've gone as far down as the Caribbean islands, and Belize is probably maybe part of South America. Belize are already talking about making our product mandatory. Okay. Hasn't been done yet, but we are in dialogue with the Minister of Fisheries there. We have had projects running in several Caribbean countries, Saba Island, Jamaica, but the biggest and most important or exciting markets for us is in the US. You have the California coast, the Dungeness crab fishery there, multi-million trap industry. and also the blue crab and stone crab fishery in the Gulf of Mexico, Florida, over Louisiana, and so on. Very exciting market. We have good footing there in contact with both distributors and governments and fishermen and organizations, and of course the Canadian markets. We have this order of $1 million US, 30,000 units that we are starting delivery on now as I said, in just a couple of weeks. And they are going right up to the lobster fishermen in Prince Edward Island. We have a big launch event there in February, where we are hoping and looking to sell all 30,000 at one day.
Okay, that's fantastic. Good news to hear. And then,
Yeah.
but so obviously you have a patent on this, or not obviously, but I would assume that you want to have a patent because this is a highly competitive market, and you're not the only ones who would be thinking of it.
Yeah, we have a patent, of course, on the release mechanism, and the important thing I think about our products is that it's self-operating, which is hugely important to the fisherman. If you make a product that they need to remember to reset or push some button or do anything, they're going to forget that, and you're going to end up with a product that doesn't serve its purpose. So once the fishermen install our device on their fishing gear, they don't ever have to think about it again until they need it, until they have lost a trap. So the unit is self-aware. It knows when it's in the water. It knows when it's out of the water. There's a countdown mechanism that only counts when it's below the sea surface, and it resets automatically once you take it out. And all this we have patented. Not to say that there won't be competition, and to some degree I would welcome competition, because I've never in my career experienced competition as being a bad thing, because you have multiple companies competing for the customer, which drives innovation, which drives the prices down and everything, and the market is anyway too big for us to be able to serve alone. So in some degree I would welcome some competition, but right now we're alone. That is an advantage. That is a good situation to be in, but let's see how that goes and how long we can maintain that.
Yeah. I mean, well, I would agree with you. I mean, competition's great. It's always fun to win, and so going out there and having a lot of fun is always good.
Yeah.
But also, like you said, the innovation and competitor innovation makes you think and makes you aware of your market, makes you a better company if you're considering it. So I'm in agreement with you there. That's fantastic. Okay. Well, from my side, I just want to thank you for the update, and I wouldn't have too much more off the top of my head to ask you about, unless there's anything else you want to add to it. And if you'd like to do that, please feel free and let us know.
I want to thank you for having me on again. Always nice to do this type of updates and be able to share the insights of what we are doing here on our end. Right now, we're all hands on deck getting this manufactured and delivered, and we are super excited about the next, I would say, 4 months. A lot of things happening on the regulatory side as well. For example, I want to mention that. We talked about the lost gear being recovered later on by, for example, governments or volunteers. There's a push now, and in Europe it's already established that when fishing gear is retrieved later on, they are trying not to get the fishermen to take the cost for that. So if you're a fisherman and you lose your gear, then the authorities want to put that cost back to the fisherman, which will create an extra incentive for a device like ours. So we are going to get a lot of help regulatory wise, which is also, I think, only fair for us to, in that case, have the company public. Since we are probably going to get regulatory help, why not let the population at large be able to take part in the benefits economically from what we're going to have from that to the shareholders. So yeah, with that, I could go on and on, but I won't.
Well, I look forward to an updated call where we could talk more about the regulations and the benefit for Resqunit. So what we'll do is we'll attach the right way to contact and the website information and everything else about Resqunit. And I would look forward to a future conversation. And so good hunting out there, and
Yeah.
wish you the best of luck. Thank you, Helgi.
Thank you.